It's James Steinhubel with TVU on the Health and Wellness Channel, and I have Carmen Braga with us, co-owner of Healing Heart Center, personal growth specialist, helping you discover you. Carmen, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's great to see you and have you part of our public service initiative of providing interviews. So, you're a personal coach, and a lot of what I see that you're involved in is peace and joy, which is great.
Yeah.
We're in a time where people's peace and joy have been, I don't know, maybe just challenged and turned upside down. How are you guys doing? How's the office? How's the clients? What's it looking like?
Well, I mean, the energy out there is definitely a lot of fear right now
Mhm.
and a lot of uncertainty. I mean, we're actually facing our greatest fear right now, which is the unknown. And it's scaring the hell out of people, frankly.
Mhm.
And, you know, there's ways to get around this. There's ways to calm yourself down, which is what I do. And help people to do that.
Okay,
And
so
yeah,
we will. I want to get a lot into that, but I want the viewers and listeners to get an understanding of who you are, where you come from, and the scope of your practice, and how it works.
yeah. Well, my prior to 15 years ago, my life was actually a mess. It was very dark, a lot of abuse and addictions. I was very lost for a good portion of my life, and just kept attracting to me just very abusive relationships, and it was just snowballing and going on and on and on till one day, quite literally, had divine intervention stepped in and kind of shook me up a bit, and it changed my life.
Hmm.
And at that point, I actually had to make a choice as to, was I going to stay where I was, or did I want to step into that unknown and take a chance and do something different with my life? And at the time, I had no idea what that was going to entail. I didn't know what was going to come up for me. I just had a feeling that it was going to be okay. And I just stepped into it. And it all turned out way better than I could have ever imagined. So I've faced this unknown before. So this is a little familiar to me right now, actually, what's happening. So
It is interesting, and I will touch on that. So, how did you equip yourself, to be a personal growth specialist? What did you do?
quite literally, I learned how to go inside myself. And that's what I teach. That's what I help women with, is learning how to go within for your answers. That's actually where your strength is inside of you. And yet we're taught to actually work from the outside in as opposed to the inside out.
Mm.
And the thing is the inside, how we're feeling inside, is a direct reflection of what we're going to be putting out and creating on the outside. So it's really important for us to take responsibility for our own energy, for what we're putting out there, right? So that's what I do, is I help people to see that reflection of, okay, well, if your life is really chaotic right now, that is a direct reflection for you that there's things inside of you that need to be addressed. And so that's where I go with people.
So you've been in coaching and in sort of us helping people center and find purpose and intent. There's these key phrases of find your why. Those are the kind of things that stitch it off. But you've been involved with this for like 15 years. It's all everybody's now. They've got this designation and this from this school and that school. That none of that was around back then. So how did you build your credentials when there was no real place to go to get them? at that time. Now there are for sure, but
yeah. Most of what I teach, like I've had like Eckhart Tolle is probably he wrote The Power of Now. That was kind of my catalyst into getting into myself.
mhm,
And I took from there, like I've taken courses. I have my coaching certification. I've done angel therapy certification, soul guidance certification, Reiki. I have my levels 1 and 2 in that as well. So I've done some things along the way, but the majority of what I well, all of it, I quite literally live this every day. I
mhm,
am the embodiment of what I teach.
mm.
And so everything that I do is from my own experience and from what I've learned along the way from the upper realms that have taught me. So,
So how, with that kind of ability to face new and face change and to regroup and move forward, how did you take on COVID? Like, obviously your business has completely changed. You have
mhm,
things that you were marketing to people, now they have to ship. And teaching now is like in this kind of format.
mhm.
Tell us.
Well, for me, like I said, I look at everything as a reflection of us, of me. Okay. So when I looked at this, what was happening, for me, it was literally the message was go inside, stay inside. But it was to go inside yourself and stay inside yourself. And we're looking at it as, as the physical around us, whereas I look at things from a different perspective from the inside. So the message that I was getting was to go inside. It is so important for us to start going within and reconnecting with ourselves, with our hearts, because we've been like quite literally, well, and that's why this is happening worldwide. We have been suffering from a massive disconnect from ourselves for a long, long time now. And it's really important that we get back to ourselves, back to our hearts, back to our compassion for ourselves, for one another. Because we've literally been, it's like we're waging a war out there, and that's on ourselves, on each other, on the planet. It's been, we've just been ravaging everything, and it had to stop. Something had to come to a stop, and it had to happen on a huge global level in order to get our attention.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that's, to me, that's what's happening right now, is our attention has been gotten, and it's up to us to now step into our power and start doing something about it. The way things have been working haven't been working. They haven't been working so well at all. And this is, it's just like in business. If you're trying to do a project, for example, and you keep on hitting walls with that project, you're not getting anywhere with it, that is a sign for you to stop and reevaluate, reassess, and go in a different direction. And that's essentially what's been happening in the world for a long time now. So we're being asked to reassess and go in a different direction.
You're quite active on different social media platforms.
Mhm.
We met through LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
you're very kind as we entered the marketplace and had 3 followers, and you were liking our posts, and you were a big help. So thank you so kindly for that. So I do know that you practice, like you are living what you believe and moving from your center.
Absolutely.
So if you're out there and you've got social media and you want an instant fan who will like your content, I recommend Carmen, and I also recommend their website, Healing Hearts Center, so Healing Hearts Center with re.ca. And just what we talked about before the interview is happening. The internet's just taking a little bit of time to pull it up. But tell people about your website. Oh, here we are. This is good. This is good. I've got it here. what Carmen will help you with. This is on right on the main page. So Carmen and her partner Hazel are both there, and I am going to attempt a screen share here, if you don't mind, Carmen. Just
Yeah, go
give me
ahead.
a second, and then people can see what uh, what we're talking about. Can you see my screen yet?
Yep, it
Okay,
is.
excellent. So Carmen will help you too. I'm going to read it over, and then I'm going to allow you to, just share with people. Understand your family programming. That's something. Understand the roles we play and why. Again, understanding what your children are here to teach you. Let go of the past. Look at and dissolve your fears. Forgive yourself and others. And stop judging and start loving. Each one of those is a remarkable statement. Bundled together, they're transformative. Tell us about this. What we're reading here.
Well, I mean, we're very complex beings. We're made up of a lot of stuff and a lot of programming. And from the time that we're children, we get programmed. We get programmed by our parents, our teachers, our siblings, pretty much everybody in our lives. A lot of times that programming, it's passed down through generations. Some of it can be really good, really helpful. Some of it not so much. So oftentimes that's how I start when I'm working with people is we look at everything. We go into absolutely everything. We go into the family and we start from the foundation and we work our way up and clearing out whatever needs to be cleared out because we're carrying so much baggage. We're carrying so much stuff around with us on a daily basis that we really don't need to be carrying anymore. It's like, it's like Santa Claus with this big bag on his shoulder. That's kind of what we're doing, and we're hauling it through life day after day after day. We go to bed at night worrying about things. We wake up in the morning worrying about things. And I always say worrying is like praying for what you don't want.
Mm,
It's we're bringing to us things that we don't want, and it's not necessary.
mhm.
It's not necessary to do that. And it's really time for us to start waking up and seeing that the way we've been going about this isn't for our highest good. It's just not helping us. So that's what I help you with, is to let go of everything that's just weighing you down and not serving you anymore. And in place, we put in, um, we work with small shifts at first. Those small shifts grow into big shifts. And it shifted my life completely. And that's what I do. I teach everything that I've done that has worked for me. That's how I work with people. But I work with every single person on an individual basis, working with whatever it is that their needs are and what they have to or what they want to address.
And where I see what you do being so relevant today is that everything you're talking about here, how I was brought up, the role that I play, my children in my life, the life experiences that I've had, the things that I fear, the things that I think that I've done wrongly, and then how I view other people have all been brought to a hyper focus with COVID. So
Yeah,
people without you spending hours and hours and hours to get people to the point where they can make shifts. Society at large has thrust the shift onto us,
yeah.
and I think that people, this is a great resource. That's awesome. I'm going to stop sharing this so we can get back on the screen. I'm so glad that you came for the interview today. Now,
Me too.
right, because of the time that we're in, what I'm hoping that you can do is in whatever format you want. I don't know if you use any sort of spoken word or directed meditation or however you work with your clients, or if you just want to do it by word of wisdom and knowledge. share with our viewers and listeners something that'll be helpful in this time, in the context of what we've talked
Okay. Well, what I've been sharing with people the most is something that's very simple: learning how to breathe. Right. Right now, it's almost like collectively people are holding their breath because they're not sure what's going to happen next. But breathing is obviously it's something that we need, but most of us were shallow breathers. We breathe from up here, right? But what I recommend is taking, and this is one of Eckhart Tolle's tips actually out of his book, is to take one deep breath an hour. And he says 10 times a day. You can do it however much, but it's in from your belly all the way up into your chest. So just let it out with in those few seconds that you're focused on the you actually let go of all thought.
about.
And it's really important, especially in this time, because we have got the monkey mind going on even more so than usual. And so what I did with this many years ago, and it helped me a lot because I had that monkey mind. I was one of those people that said, I can't do this. I can't meditate. I can't shut it off. And this is what actually worked for me. And what I did is I programmed my phone to just go ding once an hour and to remind me to take that one deep breath, which you can do anytime, anywhere, right? Everybody can do this. And for the first day, I practiced that. I just took the one deep breath once an hour, 10 times a day. The next day, I expanded it. I took 2 breaths. And then the next day, 3 breaths, then 4 breaths, to the point of all of a sudden you're going from that static in your mind. It's like static on a radio. You're all of a sudden you're turning it off and you've got this nice little span of no thought. And it really feels like a little mini vacation for your brain. It is an amazing feeling. And in this time right now, when we're picking up, because we're energy beings, so we are picking up the energy of everybody around us. And it's really important for us to take the time to stop and just breathe. We have the time, all of us have the time right now to just take that one breath. You know, if you want to, there's lots of people out there that meditate, that's fine, that's fantastic. But if that's intimidating to you, just take the one deep breath an hour and expand upon it. I think you'll find that that's going to help you greatly.
So kind, so generous. Thank you. Carmen, how do people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me well through the website. My phone number is on there, and our email is on there as well.
So if you just want to say what the website is again.
It's www.healingheartscenter, and center is CENTRE.ca.
Wonderful, wonderful. Carmen Braga, co-owner of Healing Heart Center, personal growth specialist, helping you discover you with myself, James Steinhubel, on TVU, the Health and Wellness channel. Carmen, thank you so kindly. I look forward to our next visit.
Thank you very much, James. I'm really I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.